Right. Hi, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. So, we're going to get started with our gentle yoga and midday break, if you will. I want to actually start on the floor on our back. Sometimes that's a nice way to get started, especially if your back is feeling a little bit tight. So go ahead and put your mat down. If you've got a blanket you want to use, go ahead and do that. And as you come down onto your back, just pull the knees in, and we're going to start with our knees tucked in. And you can hold onto the knees or clasp your hands across your legs. I just want you to rock nice and slow, rock gently back and forth. And you can close your eyes and take a nice deep breath here. Let go of all that tension down your back and just notice how you're feeling. Let's make a circle with the knees. So pull those knees in and now roll them out away from you like you're drawing a big circle. And let's change direction. Good. Place your feet down on the mat. Let's open the feet nice and wide, 1 foot to either edge, and just let your knees lean on each other, right? Like a little tent. And we're going to focus on the breathing for a moment. Place your elbows are resting on the floor. Place one hand on your heart center, kind of like the middle of your chest, and then you can place one hand down on your lower abdomen so that your shoulders are relaxed. I'm going to take a deep breath here. And as you focus on your breathing, feel your chest expand, your abdomen rise as you inhale. Nice, slow, even exhale. Feel your stomach pull in slightly at the end of your exhale. Good. And now just gently turn your head from side to side, back and forth. Loosen up your neck, your shoulders, back and forth. Good. And then bring your head right back to center. All right. Let's place the feet hip distance apart. Draw that right knee into your chest. Clasp your hands across that knee, pull that knee in, and then rotate your ankle. Make a big circle and change direction. Clasp your hands behind your leg, extend that leg straight up towards the ceiling. So you're going to push out through the heel and then point your toes. Push through the heel, point your toes. And feel that stretch through the ankle, through your calf, all the way down the leg. Good. All right, bend that knee, lay that right ankle across your left knee, put your right hand on your right leg, and just gently bounce that knee. Feels good to lay down in the middle of a Tuesday. Just bounce that knee back and forth. Like, I love yoga class. I'm so glad you're all showing up. Keep me motivated too. All right. Just a gentle bouncing. Okay, we're going to undo the legs. Let's draw that left knee in. So pull that left knee in, and same thing on this side. You're going to clasp your hands across the knee, make a nice big circle. And change direction. Clasp your hands behind that leg, extend the leg straight towards the ceiling, push through the heel, point through the toes, and stretch. And again, just flexing that foot, feel that stretch through the ankle, through the calf, all the way down the leg. Good. Bend that knee, lay the outside of your left ankle across that right knee. I'm just going to gently bounce that hip, bounce that knee away from you. And stop that rocking movement. Let's place the feet on the mat. Open your feet nice and wide. They can even be a little wider than the mat if you like. The right knee, drop it down towards your left foot and just hold for a moment. Bring that knee to center. Let your left knee drop down towards your right foot and hold. Let's go back and forth. One knee, and then the other knee down. Nice twist. You might feel that all the way through your lower back. Good. I'm going to show you a variation. So bring your knees back to center. Drop that right knee down towards your left foot. All right. And now what I want you to do is take the outside of your left ankle and place it on top of your right knee and just let that weight pull the knee towards the floor. You're going to really feel this through the hip and through the leg, and just hold for a moment. Just notice how that feels. It's a really good stretch. You're kind of getting through an area that's not easy to stretch, right through that, along that right side, through your hip, through the upper leg. Good. Let's do the other side. So slowly untwist. Now I want you to drop the left knee down towards your right foot. Now take the outside ankle, right? The outside of your right foot, lay it on top of your left knee, and just add that weight to the stretch. And just hold for a moment. And relax. Breathe. There you go. Good. Oh, undo that leg. Now, after doing that with the hips, you might feel a little tension in your lower back. So we're going to release that by drawing your knees in. This time, though, I want you to keep your knees apart instead of having the knees together. So have those knees apart, pull them in, and then just rock gently from side to side and massage that lower back, always paying attention to how you're feeling as you move through the posture. Good. Let's place the feet on the mat hip distance, and we're going to do a nice bridge pose. So arms by the side, press your back into the mat, press your feet down. Go ahead and raise your hips up and hold. Good. Inhale. As you exhale, roll down slowly, and let's draw those knees back up into the chest. Okay, we're going to do one more bridge posture. Let's add a shoulder stretch. So feet about hip distance. This time I want you to take your hands or your arms, reach them beyond your head so the back of the hands are on the mat. So it's like you're reaching for that wall behind you. And then go ahead and lift your hips up into your bridge posture and hold. Do a slightly different stretch for the neck and the shoulders. And then roll back down. Let's do one more stretch for the wrist and hands. This time, you're going to bend at the elbow and put your hands on the mat. I'm not going to make you go up into a bridge posture, but I am going to put your hands in that position. Okay, so this is a good stretch for your wrist and your hands as well. Go ahead and lift up into the bridge pose. We'll keep the upper back or the shoulders and the back of the head on the floor. Good. Inhale as you exhale, roll back down. And let's draw those knees in one more time. All right, from here, we're going to do a spinal twist. So keep those knees tucked in, open the arms out to the sides. You're going to let the knees fall to the left. So go ahead and drop them down. And then turn your head, look out towards your right hand. So if the shoulder comes up, I want you to try to bring that shoulder down by turning your head. Then you can take your left hand, place on the knee, and just gently draw down. Good. And breathe. And just let your lower back relax. And inhale, bring your knees up. Let's go over to the other side. So you're going to drop those legs to the right. Your left shoulder might come up. So turn your head, look out towards that left hand. You can put your right hand on your knee and gently draw down. And take a slow, deep breath. Good. And then let your knees come right back to center. So we're going to come up to a seated posture. You can either roll to your side, use your hands and arms to help you sit up, or clasp your hands behind your feet and go ahead and swing them and just rock yourself right back up to seated posture. All right. So let's go ahead and before we come on to our front, we'll do some more stretches for the hips. So stretch your legs out in front of you. And let's start by tucking one heel in. You can do either side. So you're going to tuck one heel in. I want your other leg to be out in front, and you're going to create some space between your feet. So you have maybe a foot or so between the heels, and I want your heels to be lined up. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to lean forward into the stretch. So work with your breath with each exhale. Going just a little bit deeper into the stretch. I want you to notice if you're tensing your body or holding your breath at any point, and see if you can relax and focus on your breathing. Good. Let's add to this stretch, and I want you to twist a little bit to one side and then go ahead and twist over to the other side and back to center. We're going to switch those legs around. So tuck the other heel in, put your opposite foot out in front, line up the heels. There should be a space between the feet. Oof. Inhale. My hip needs this one. Exhale as you come forward. And relax. And just focus with your breathing. Good. And bring yourself back up. Let's go ahead and twist to one side and then over to the other side. And stretch that out. Go ahead and stretch your legs out in front of you. We're going to do a little bit more actually with the hips because my hips are tight. So you're going to get the benefit of stretching yours. All right, we're going to do what's called a supine warrior. I'm going to show you a couple of variations. So in this one, I'm leaning over onto my right hip. I want you to take your left leg back. You want to try to point the toes back behind you. Don't flex the foot like this. I want your toes going back. Okay, so right now I'm leaning off of my left leg. But then I want you to come back to a seated posture if you can, and the heel is next to your leg. You're not sitting on that heel. So you're going to feel a big stretch through the knee and through the upper thigh. Good. Lean off of it if it's painful or uncomfortable. Let's go ahead and switch. So now you're going to lean onto that left leg. Let's take your right leg back. Same thing. I want the toes pointing back behind you. And I can already feel like I have one ankle, one leg that's a little tighter than the other. So just pay attention. It's fine. And stretch. Good. And under that leg. If you feel like you're getting a good stretch doing one leg at a time, then go ahead and repeat that sequence. If you want to increase the stretch, then you can come up onto your hands and knees. If you have a folded blanket or towel, you can use that. Make it pretty thick. You're going to put the knees together, put the feet out to the side, and take that blanket and sit. Right? And you can see that I've got the toes going back. If you're sitting on the blanket and you're not feeling much of a stretch, right? It feels really comfortable, then you can lower that blanket or you can remove it. You might not need it. Okay, so you decide what kind of stretch. And then if you want to increase the stretch, you can lean back. I'm going to move up. There you go. You can even come back onto the elbows, and only if this is easy for you. Some people, their hips work in this direction. You can lie down for just a moment. And but don't push into this posture. Just go at your own pace and do what feels comfortable for you. If you do come back, you're going to need to sit yourself up. And then we're going to do a child's pose. I want you to bring the heels underneath your seat. Okay. And you're going to come down into child's pose. In a child's posture, you can either put the forehead to the mat with the arms by your sides, or you can put one arm on top of the other with your forehead on your forearms, whatever feels comfortable for you. And just relax for a moment. Good. Let's reach the arms out in front of you. Come up onto your hands and knees. Let's open the knees about hip distance. And we'll go into the tabletop position, the table pose with the hands underneath your shoulders. Let's do a few cat dog tail stretches where you exhale, tuck your chin in, round your back and shoulders, arch your back, look up and inhale. And exhale. And just do that a few times following your breath. Good. With your next exhale, draw the hips towards the heels. I want you to reach all the way forward with your hands. So you're in the half tortoise pose for a moment. And then from here, let's do our downward facing dog. So you want the hands just a little bit wider than the shoulders. Come up onto your hands and knees. Let your toes curl under and lift up and back. So want your knees slightly bent. Press your chest back towards your legs. And then let's do the runner stretch where you bend one knee, push the opposite heel towards the mat. So you're alternating your legs back and forth. Good. Let your shoulders come forward. Let the knees touch down onto the mat. Let's draw the left knee all the way up. Turn the heel in. Stretch your right leg back. So we're going to open up the hips a little bit more. This is your half pigeon pose. So inhale as you look forward. And exhale as you come on down. You can rest your forehead on your forearms if you like. If it feels good to rock your hips a little bit from side to side, you can do that. Okay, go ahead and bring your chest up, hands firmly onto the mat. So from here, before we switch sides, I want you to do one more stretch. You're going to bend the back knee, okay, and look forward. And if you want to increase the stretch, right now my right knee is bent. You're going to take your opposite hand, the left hand, and try to reach for the foot. You don't have to reach the foot, right? You can just have the knee bent like this, but you can try to reach for the foot and hold. And you're just gently letting that heel come towards the seat as you exhale. Good. And relax. Hands firmly on the mat. You're going to step it back into your downward facing dog and stretch. Good. Bring the shoulders forward, knees down to the mat. And now you're going to draw the right knee forward, turn the heel in. Stretch your left leg back. Inhale as you look forward. And exhale as you come on down. And relax. If it feels good to rock your hips, you can do that as well. Good. And then bring your chest up. You're going to bend that back knee. And you're just going to increase the stretch. If you want to reach back with your opposite hand, you can do that and try to reach for the toes. Breathe. Just softening into the stretch, letting that heel come towards your seat or in that direction. Good. And let that leg come down. One more time. Back into that downward dog and stretch. Let your shoulders come forward, your knees down to the mat, draw the hips back to the heels and stretch. Okay. All right, we're going to do another downward dog. This one's going to take a little more strength. It's going to be a good stretch for you. So I'm going to teach you in stages, okay? So you just do what works for you. You're going to come up onto the hands and knees, back into the downward facing dog. All right, so I'm going to start by putting the weight onto my right foot. I want you to bend your left knee and then extend your left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, and you can open out that hip and then bend your left foot. So if you look underneath your right armpit, you'll see your toes. And then go ahead and let that leg come down. And let's bend the right knee, extend the leg straight up. So if it's just enough to get your leg up, that's fine. If you want to go further, you bend that knee, drop the foot, look under your left armpit. Good. And then go ahead and bring that leg down. You're probably thinking that was not gentle yoga, but you did it. You're good. Go ahead and come back. Let's do one more twist. Let's stretch out our lower back. So I want you to sit towards the right heel, reach over to the left, and stretch it out. Nice, slow, deep breath. 2. and 3, and 4, and we're back onto the hands and knees. Let's switch over, sit back towards that left heel, reach over to the right and stretch. And 2, 3, 4. Good. And come right back to center. You're back up onto the hands and knees. Curl your toes under. Let's sit on the heels for a moment so you can stretch out your feet. Whew. All right. And then go ahead and come up into standing. If you have a yoga tie or belt, I literally use a tie. You can use like a bath belt if you're at home, bathrobe belt, or a small towel, something like that. Okay, if you've got something like this, let's grab it. And I'm going to teach you a shoulder stretch. Let's adjust my camera so you can see me. Okay, so we're going to use this to stretch out your shoulders. Let's start in our standing posture, feet about hip distance. And I want you to hold onto the belt with your right hand. Go ahead and reach up towards the ceiling. Bend at the elbow so the palm faces your back and you're holding onto your belt. Take your left hand, touch the elbow, your right elbow. Draw it gently up and slightly back. Then take your left hand and reach up and grab that belt. Okay, and look straight ahead. If you can reach fingers, then you don't need the belt. But most of us will need to use the belt, at least on one side or the other. Sometimes one shoulder is tighter than the other. I want you to just look forward and breathe. Inhale, as you exhale, relax that shoulder, let your arms come down. And let's do the other side. So you're going to reach up with the left arm, bend at the elbow, drop the hand towards the back. Now take your left hand, right hand, touch that left elbow, draw it gently up and back. And then reach up with that right arm. And again, you're going to reach for the belt, maybe reach fingers. Look forward and breathe. Nice, slow, deep breath. Feel your shoulders stretching and relaxing. Good. And relax. And go ahead and let your arms come down. All right, let's do a front bend using this belt. I want you to take the belt behind you and hold on to it so it's at least hip distance apart. Okay. You're going to come forward, fold into your front bend. Inhale as you exhale. I want you to fold. You can soften your knees a little bit. Don't lock the knees. And then raise the arms up behind your back. If you want to open the arms a little bit wider on your belt, you certainly can do that and hold. If you don't have a belt, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you don't have a belt, you can clasp your hands together and then raise them behind your back. Good. Bring the belt to the seat, drop it down to the floor. Now you're in your front bend. Just sway a little bit from side to side, stretching out your the hamstrings. Good. Hands to the floor. Reach down, come down into your squat. Go ahead and do that. Back up into that front bend. And back down to your squat. Good. I'm going to show you a posture that's like a wide squat, going side to side. So I want you to go back into your front bend and then bring your chest up for a moment and back to standing. Okay. I need to show you my feet. So we're going to adjust this. All right. So what I want you to do is you're going to step wide. So I want your feet apart, nice and wide. Let's come forward into the front bend again and let your arms hang and your head hang. Now, I want you to get your hands to the floor. So you might need to bend your knees and you can reach out in front of you. Okay. So I'm starting with the right foot, the right side. You're going to turn your right foot out to the side, so you're angling it. And I want you to walk your hands over to your right leg. I've got kind of one hand on either side of my leg. Bend that knee, so it's like a squat. And then the toes of the left foot, turn them up towards the ceiling. Okay. Use your hands in front of you to walk up and over. Bend that left knee, let the heel come off the mat, and then turn the toes of the right foot up. So you're stretching right along and through here, okay? So we're gonna go back and forth. So you're gonna lift up and over. If you want to increase the stretch, you can try to keep the foot flat. That's a pretty deep stretch, but most of us are gonna bring that heel up, okay? But you can experiment with that, going side to side, up and over. I just want you to go back and forth. It's a little easier with the heel coming up, and you still get a good stretch. So back and forth. One more time on each side. Good. Let's come back to center. So you're back into that front bend. Just heel toe or step your feet in a little bit closer. Hang down into your front bend. Let's bend the knees. Bring yourself down into your squat again. Good. And then from here, you're going to come down to seated posture. I want to do the triangle posture on the floor. Again, if you've got your belt, towel, whatever you're using, have that handy. I can teach you how to do it without a belt as well. So what I need you to do is I need you to come down onto your back. You are going to need enough room on either side of you in order to stretch your leg out. Okay, so just make sure you have enough space, and I want you to lie down on your back. Show you what we're going to do here. Okay. All right. So with that, bring yourself down. All right. So let's start with both feet on the mat. I want you to draw that right knee in, place the belt around the bottom of your foot, and extend that leg straight up. If you don't have a belt, then I want you just to hold on to the back of your leg. Okay. But you're drawing that leg in. Go ahead and stretch your left leg flat. Okay. So from here, I want you to lower that heel a little bit. Lower the leg. It doesn't have to be all the way up. Lower it. Hold on to the belt with your right hand. Open your left arm out to the side. And you're going to slowly open that leg out to the side. If you don't have a belt, then you can just, use your hand to support your leg. But you're going to bring that leg all the way out to the side. And I want the foot to rest onto the floor. And this is where you might need to close your legs in just a little bit. As you're doing that, right, once your right leg touches the floor, draw that left hip towards the floor. So you're going to feel this stretch right across your abdomen, your lower back, the pelvic area. Right? And just hold for a moment. Try to relax. Let those hips open up. All right, hold on to this belt with your right hand and try to keep the leg straight, or use your hand to lift that leg. And I want you to bring your leg right back up to center. Hold on to the belt with your left hand, open your arm out to the side as a counterbalance, and now you're going to let that leg cross over you. If you need to bend the knee, if it's too much of a stretch, go ahead and do that. You have to scoot a little bit. And you're going to let that leg come down to the floor. Turn your head, look out towards your right hand. So it's a spinal twist, but with a straight leg. Good. And then inhale as you bring that leg up to center. Now hold on to that belt with both hands. I want you to draw your shoulders up and draw your head towards your knee. And hold. And relax. Lower your shoulders, lower your back, bend that knee, stretch your leg out. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. You should feel a difference between your two sides. All right, let's do this on the other side. So bend both knees, place your feet on the mat. Okay. Bring that left leg in, put the belt around the bottom of your left foot. And I want you to slide your right leg onto the mat and just hold. Breathe. All right. So you're going to lower that foot a little bit. You can extend your right arm out to counterbalance. And I want you to slowly open that left leg out to the side. Let it come all the way down onto the mat, onto the floor. So you might need to close the leg in just a little bit and hold. And relax. Inhale and exhale deeply. All right, use that belt to help draw your foot back up to center. Hold onto that belt now with your right hand, and then slowly cross that leg over you. And again, let that foot come down to the floor. If you need to bend your knee, go ahead and do that. And I want you to look out towards your left hand and relax. Good. Use that belt to help you bring your leg right back up to center. Let's hold onto the belt with both hands. Draw your head towards your knee and stretch. And relax. Go ahead and bend that knee. Let your foot come down onto the mat. Let's rock the feet in and out a few times. Good. And just let your feet fall right out to the sides. All right. Arms rest by your sides, palms facing upward. Take a nice deep breath. You can close your eyes softly and just allow that floor to support your body. Okay, and relax. Good. Let go of any tension through the face. Relax down through the jaw. Relax your neck and your shoulders all the way down the arms to fingertips. And back up through the shoulders. Relax your upper back, your chest and lungs, your heart center, through the abdomen, through the lower back, from the hips all the way down the legs, your feet and toes. Relax again your toes, your feet, lower legs, knees, and upper legs. Relax through the hips and the pelvis, the abdomen, the lower back. Relax your heart center, your chest and lungs, from the shoulders down to your fingertips. Back up through the shoulders, relax through the neck, the face, all the way through the top of your head. Slowly take a deep breath. And start to bring your awareness back to your body, moving your fingers, moving your toes. Bring the palms of your hands together, rub those hands, make them warm. Place those warm hands over your eyes and block out all the light. Open your eyes into your palms and relax your gaze. Good. And then you can slowly bring your hands down. Let's draw the knees up into your chest and relax your back. And rock a little bit from side to side and massage your lower back. Good. And then go ahead and roll to your side or rock yourself up, and let's come up into a comfortable seated posture. And we'll close our class. All right. So just notice how you feel after giving yourself that 45 minutes. Bring the hands to the heart for a moment. Go ahead and set your intention for the day. You get to decide, right? What kind of day you're going to have, how this day will play out. I'm so happy and grateful that this day is peaceful. Good. And then eyes are open. And namaste. All right, everyone. I hope you have a really good day. If you're heading out, just remember to take some deep breaths and let the rest of the world match your energy, right? Anyone that comes into your space is peaceful. There you go. And otherwise, they just move on. That's how I say it to myself. I'm like, you know what? Everything's peaceful, or everyone else just moves on. If you want to stay and do some breathing meditation, feel free to do that. I'll walk us through some breathing techniques. Otherwise, I'll see you next Tuesday. All right. So for a meditation, you want to be able to sit so that you're sitting nice and tall, so it's easy to take a deep breath in a comfortable position where your leg isn't going to fall asleep or cramp up. So if sitting cross-legged isn't comfortable, it's okay. You could even sit like this and put pillows under your legs. If you wanted to do something like that, you can sit in a chair and just sit towards the edge of the chair so that you're sitting nice and tall. I would still put a pillow or blanket under your seat. The reason we don't lie down to meditate is it's just so easy to drift into sleep. So trying to find that space between sleep and the active mind, and allowing yourself to set hit a pause button on the day where you just allow yourself to breathe deeply, quiet the mind, because you'll notice as the breath deepens, the mind gets quieter. And think of that as your time to recharge. If you practice this daily, I would say 15 minutes every morning or 15 minutes before bed, try it. See if it says it takes 3 weeks to start a habit. See if you could do it every day or most days for 3 weeks. Just notice how you feel, right? Let it be your own experiment. Okay, to help us get into that relaxed state, we want to do some deep breathing. And what we're going to do today is I want you to work on evening out the breath. It's called Matrika Pranayama. So when you inhale, you'll count the length of your inhale. And as you exhale, you'll count the length of your exhale. And gradually your breath will start to deepen. I'm going to also teach you a technique where you use your hands to mirror the breath for the first few breaths. And then you won't need to use any more. So what I'm going to do is as you inhale, your hands are laying on your lap with the palms facing upward. You're going to inhale. And I want you to raise those hands as if you're filling up with air to the chest and the lungs, and then turn the palms over. And as you exhale, it's almost like you're pushing the air out. Turn the palms
up and inhale. And then turn the palms over as you exhale. Let's do that for one more breath. And again. Good. If you like that technique, you can continue doing it. If you feel comfortable now, or you just want to rest your hands in your lap, you're on your knees, go ahead. And in your mind, I want you to count to yourself the length of your inhale. Count again the length of your exhale. And even out your breath. Gradually, your breath will start to deepen. And at some point, you can either let go of the breath and just sit still. Or if it helps you to focus on your breathing, go ahead and continue to count the length of your inhale and the length of your exhale. Continue at your own pace. We'll do this for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I will just turn off the class when we're done. And I'm going to mute right now because it's noisy in my house.